Before the Industrial Revolution, many people worked close to the land, the home, or small workshops. Work was not easy. Poverty existed, hard labor existed, but for many workers, labor still had a visible connection to the thing produced. Then, in Britain and later across Europe and the world, production began to move into factories. Machines became larger, work became more regular, time became stricter. The worker's day began to follow the clock, the bell, and the owner.
I'm so tired today, but every work that I do is mine. What's this sound?
For some, the factory sounded like opportunity. For others, it sounded like a warning. For John, it sounded like a question.
They say the factory pays the wage. They say there's a work anyone who will stand beside the machines. Maybe that's better. Maybe the old way is ending whether I like it or not. I'm so tired. Where am I?
In a place where work can be studied clearly. You are troubled by the factory, Lord John. So let us begin with a smaller object. Imagine, one worker tries to make this whole object alone. He must draw the wire, cut it, stride it, point it, finish it, and prepare it for sale. Alone, he might produce very little.
But he must do everything himself.
Exactly, but divide the work. One worker drives the wire, another cuts it, another points it, another finishes, and another packs it. Each person repeats one task and becomes faster at it. This is the division of labor. It increases dexterity. It saves time that would be lost moving from one kind of work to another. And it encourages the invention of machines that make labor easier and faster.
So the factory is so big, it doesn't ask one man to make whole thing. It breaks the works into the pieces.
Yes, and when production rises, more goods can reach more people. Markets expand, and price might fall. A society can become wealthier than before.
Then the factory's progress.
It can be, but be careful with that word. Progress in production is not the same as happiness in every life. The wealth of nation grows when labor becomes more productive, but the worker must not become only a moving hand.
Only a moving hand?
If a man spends his whole life performing one simple operation, his mind might narrow. A society that gains from specialization must still care about education, judgment, and human dignity.
But if the factory gives me wages and if they produce more than the old world, maybe I should go.
Go then, but look carefully. Do not only count the goods. Ask also what happens to the people who make them.
The factory system organized labor in a new way. Workers gathered under one roof. Machines set the rhythm. Owners supplied building, tools, and raw materials. Workers sold their labor for wages.
Name?
John.
Have you worked with machines before?
No, but I can work hard.
Hard work is required, obedience is expected. The bell starts the day and the bell ends it. You do not get away from your station. You do not slow the line.
So how much money I can earn?
You will have it at the end of the week. If you work hard, you get what you expect. If you are lazy, you get less.
What will I do?
You will not make the product. You will make a portion of it in your station. So just go to station 5 now. Bill.
At first, John sees what Smith described. Work is divided. Each worker has a task. Production becomes faster than anything John knew before. The same division of labor that increased output also changed the workers' experience. John no longer shaped an entire object. He repeated a fragment. He did not choose the pace. He did not own the tools. He did not own the final product.
Yorgun inin aşağı. Tutuna tutuna böyle övecekmiş bizi. John,
Yeah,
here.
it's a whole week. Money.
That is for whole week.
The factory sells a lot of products,
Yes, the factory did, not you.
but my hands did it.
Your hands were paid. The risk is mine. The machines are mine. The building is mine. So,
Today, have one. With that.
if you have enough money.
In the 19th century, factory labor became controversial enough that governments began to regulate it. The 1833 Factory Act in Britain limited the hours of children, required schooling for some young workers, and created inspectors. The law itself shows that industrial labor had become a social problem, not only an economic success.
The owner will say the machine cannot stop.
The machine never stops for hunger. It never stops for a child. It never stops for a body that has had enough.
You sound like a writer again, mate.
Marx?
Yes, Karl Marx, the one who says the factory is not only machines and wages, but power.
He asks the questions the owner avoids. Who creates the value and who keeps it?
What do you mean, man? Will you? Can I sit?
Sure.
You work all week, you receive a wage, but the product sells for the more than cost of wage and the materials. The owner keeps the difference.
So profit?
Marx calls attention to surplus value. The worker creates more value than he receives back as wages.
But I agreed to the wage.
Did you agree freely or did hunger agree for you?
That is the question. If you own no land, no tools, no machine, what can you sell expect your labor?
But it's my labor power.
Yes, your ability to work. The owner buys it for a time and uses that time to create profit.
I thought I'm tired, but sometimes I missing something.
You have seen the factory. John, John, wake up. Empty.
Are you Marx?
Yes, I am the Max. I am the voice inside your brain.
When the factory makes more, I get poorer.
Who made this? Who made this?
Me,
No, not you. Who owns the machines?
the owner.
Who decides when your day begins, when it ends, and how fast your hands must move?
The owner.
Then you are not only a producer. Because you stole your labor. You must sell your labor.
But he pays me.
Yes, that's why the system is more difficult to see than the open left. You receive the wage, but your working day creates more value than the value of the wage. The extra supplies, well, plus value. It becomes profit for the capitalist.
So the wage hides the rest of the day.
Yes, it can, but part of the day reproduces the value of your wage. The rest creates the value for someone else. You experience the whole day as work, but the capital divides it into necessary labor and surplus labor.
When I complained, the owner says the machines are his, the area are his.
That's ownership, and ownership gives command. The factory is not only a place where goods are made. It's a social relation between those who make the means of production and those who must sell the labor power.
Then my tiredness is not personal.
No, it is historical. And there is another wound, alienation.
Alienation?
You are separated from the product because it does not belong to you. You are separated from the act of production because the work is forced by need and controlled by another. You are separated from other workers because competition turns them into rivals, and you are separated from yourself. Because human creativity becomes a mere means of survival.
In the field, I was poor, but when I made something, I could recognize myself in it. But I touch the product in every day in the fabricary, but it still feels foreign to me.
That's why the product confronts the workers like an alien power. The more he produces, the more the world of things grows outside him, while his own life feels smaller.
So what should I do?
First, understand. A worker who thinks his suffering is only private remains alone. A worker who understands the system can see class.
Class.
Yeah. Those who own capital and those who must sell labor. Their interests are not always the same. The Industrial Revolution did not only create machines, it sharpened this conflict.
And yet, you cannot explain the modern world without productivity.
So what if that came to my dream? So tell me, what's the factory? Exploitation or progress?
It is a powerful form of production. When labor is divided, society can produce far more than isolated workers could produce alone. More goods, wider exchange, and larger markets. This is not a small achievement.
But you begin the output. I begin with the worker. Who owns the factory? Who controls the day? Who receives the profits? A mountain of goods does not prove justice.
Without productivity, there is only scarcity. If every worker remains alone with all tools, society cannot easily provide abundance. The division of labor is one reason modern wealth became possible.
Modern wealth for whom? The worker may produce more and will dependent. He may create goods he cannot buy. He may become a small attachment to a machine he does not own.
Smith, you told me it could make society wealthier, but in factory I didn't feel any wealthier. I felt smaller.
Then you saw one of the dangers. I do not deny the narrow labor can damage that worker's mind. A society that benefits from specialization must not abandon education and moral responsibility.
Education may soften the wound, but it does not remove the relation of exploitation. The worker still sells labor power. The capitalism still appropriates surplus value.
You speak as if exchange is only domination, but markets also coordinate needs. The butcher, the brewer, the baker, the manufacturer, each pursues interest, and society can receive goods through exchange.
Exchange in the market appears free, but production reveals dependence. A worker without property does not meet the capitalist as an equal in any meaningful sense. Hunger stands behind the contact.
When the owner offered a wage, I could accept or I leave, but a living meant no bread.
Exactly.
And yet, if the factory closes, wages disappear too. Capital, tools, organization, and labor must all meet somewhere. The question is how to make that meeting serve society better.
The deeper question is why the means of production belong to one class while another class must sell all its life activity to survive.
I hear both of you. Smith, you explain why the factory grows. Marx, you explain why growth feels like taken from me.
Then do not ignore the productivity.
And do not ignore the power.
The Industrial Revolution is not the one story. It could be two.
It's a story of increasing productive power.
And it's a historical conflict in that power.
Then the question is not only whether the factory produces more. The question is what kind of life it produces for the worker.
The Industrial Revolution did not wait for workers to understand it. Every morning, the whistle still sounded, the machines still needed bodies, the market still moved.
Are you coming?
Yeah, but it's not like yesterday.
What changed?
Yeah, I used to think the tiredness is building to me, but it's a common fact. The factor makes more questions than I have. Who gains? Who earns? Who is the owner?
Inside, the day has begun.
Adam Smith helps us see the factory as a breakthrough in productivity, specialization, and market growth. Karl Marx helps us see the same factory as a system of wage labor, alienation, surplus value, and class conflict. The same machine can tell two histories. One history counts the goods, the other asks what happens to the human being who makes them.